Welcome to the ultra futuristic interior of a Model X Plaid, and today I want to talk to you guys about screen cleaning. Modern cars all have screens. I can't even remember the last car that doesn't have a screen. And things like Teslas, these are something we interact with on a daily basis, showing fingerprints, dust, and general nastiness. So today I'm going to talk about both products we do want to use on things like screens and products we definitely want to stay away from. So welcome back to another out of spec detailing video. Let's jump into it. If your screen looks like this, you've definitely clicked on the right video. Again, in modern vehicles, we have screens everywhere. So in the Model X here, we've got a screen that we really interact with, and one that is more just a display here at the front that doesn't get super dirty, but will get dusty over time. Instrument clusters has always been something people have worried about scratching, mostly because areas like this were previously made with plastic and very soft plastic. And you would scratch it up by using a brand new towel, the right process, and they were really a nightmare to deal with. Something like this is a fully glass panel here, so I'm going to show you some products that I like to use. Now, if you do have a Tesla, this is screen cleaning mode, and it is extremely helpful for cleaning up your screen, because what happens, come in here, you're starting to clean all this off, wiping towels over it, you're pressing buttons, changing settings, never know what you're opening here. So in this case, if you do have a Tesla, you're going to come down here to display and go to screen cleaning mode. That's going to allow this to not touch anything on the actual screen, changing your settings, anything like that. But this screen has definitely seen some better days. This is only 1,000 miles in this Model X Plaid here. My car, I've got my Model 3 sitting right over there, is absolutely disgusting. So this is something I recommend doing, I don't know, every week or so. Just kind of depends how OCD you are. If you're like me, definitely more often. But let's get into products I don't recommend, and then I'll show you the full process. Well, for starters, cleaning your screen should be easy. We don't want to make this overly complicated, but we do want to ensure that we're using the right products. Now, there's a few different solutions to doing this, and I'm going to tell you what I found to be the best. Now, in your Tesla or something maybe like a Rivian, you'll get something similar to this. This is actually out of my Model 3, and you'll see it's still in the original package. This is a cleaning cloth for the screen. I really don't like using these. For one, you're basically dry wiping this, taking all the dust and debris and basically just smearing it around. It's really tricky to get a streak-free finish. Maybe you will the first couple of times you use this, but over time, this is just gonna get filled with all your fingerprint, oils, all of the nastiness on your screens. Now, I've also seen products like this. This is something from Abstract Ocean, which has a similar wrap around it as far as the material, a suede material, but in here you have a spray. Couple of things I don't like about this. Now, this is nice and convenient to store in your glove box rather than having a large bottle like this in a towel, because you basically spray and wipe it. Couple of things wrong with this. Number one is you're spraying on the screen. You'll hear me talk about this throughout our whole process. Never spray on the screen. The reason being, you can get it to drip down here. It can actually get into the screen. I've seen people do this, or detailers do this, on areas like this on an instrument cluster, where they go in, spray it, and it actually gets under and starts working into, that whole area. Really quite a mess to deal with. So I really don't like that. The other thing I don't like about these is they hold dirt. So you spray this on here, wipe it down. It does a reasonable job. I find that it streaks it a lot more, but all of this dust, I don't think you can see that. I'll try and pull it in there. It just holds it on there. So now you have a lot of contamination that you're just scrubbing all over the screen, increasing chances of actually scratching it. So that's a no-go from me. Now, the other thing you may consider using is a glass cleaner. A lot of people like to try and use Windex on things like windows. The problem with Windex is it has ammonia in it, and ammonia can be very harmful to protective coatings they put on screens as well as tint. I'm going to have a video talking about glass cleaning and why you definitely should not use Windex. So Windex, a no-go. how about other glass cleaners? Well, I have used other glass cleaners in the past on these. I personally find using something completely different is my preferred way to go. So these would be good options. These are all ammonia free, very streak free. You could use this if that's kind of your last case, but I'm going to show you over here what I really recommend. Now this is not the right bottle of this, but inside of here it is Adams waterless wash. You can use this over anything on the vehicle. You know, on the exterior, getting some bird poop off the paint quickly or quickly wiping down an area. The reason I really like it, it has a ton of lubrication. It does not streak. That's one of the big things. Actually, for a glass cleaner that I use, I mix CarPro Clarify here 50-50 with waterless wash to give it some of that smooth, slick feel on there. There's no protection additives in this, but it's really, really nice. I find some of these glass cleaners like Clarify here, they do a fantastic job cleaning, but they'll leave the screen or window a little bit dry, if you will. So it's a little grabby and tacky. Now, another thing I know you guys are going to ask, this is a big thing with modern screens, is talking screen protectors. Can you use waterless wash on screen protectors? Of course. Let me just give you my personal opinion though on screen protectors. I don't love them. Now on your phone, completely different story. You're dropping your phone on the ground, don't want to scratch up your $1,000 phone screen. If you're dropping the screen in your Tesla, you're doing something completely wrong. So that's just my personal opinion. A lot of people use them for glare and they actually get a matte screen protector. What I find that does is make the entire screen fuzzy and not as crystal clear. I've been extremely impressed with things like Rivians and Teslas with the clarity of their screen, and in my opinion, it's kind of silly to mess that up. To me, it's kind of like putting plastic all over your furniture. Doesn't look good, doesn't feel good, so why do it? Who are you saving that for? So my opinion is leave it alone and have a good cleaning regimen. So let me talk about the actual cleaning regimen here. So if you're cleaning up your interior, what I would highly recommend is cleaning other areas first. If you're going in to clean your steering wheel, do this first and come back to the screen absolutely last. The reason I say that, you're using all kinds of cleaners. Maybe they have a little bit of solvents. They will spot this up like crazy. So you're spraying this on here, it's going everywhere. Not the way you want to do it. So leave this till very last, or if you're just in a quick rush to get some fingerprints off, I'm going to show you the full process here. Great, so one of my first tips is using gloves. The reason being, you have oils on your hands. Anytime you touch this, you can start streaking it more. And you may just sit there and try and scrub away all the streaks. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to be aggressive on things like this because you can scratch them. So I'm going to put these two glass cleaners away over here and show you a few other tricks. Now I see a lot of people when they start detailing cars do this motion. And when they try and clean glass or anything like this, they use a 5-finger method. The problem with that is you bunch this up and that's what causes your streaks. So my recommendation is take a fresh clean towel and fold it into quarters. So you're going to have a wet side and a dry side, and then vice versa on the inside. So you basically have a 4-sided towel here in case it gets too dirty. So again, my recommendation, absolutely do not come in here and start spraying this down. You can damage your screens. All of these seals in here, if you get that behind there, you're replacing thousands of dollar screens. So all I would recommend, let's spray it on here. You don't need a ton of this Adams waterless wash. That should do it. Now, instead of starting over here on your screen, if you're in a Model X, Model S, or something like a Rivian where you have a central display, clean that first because you're not touching this all the time. It doesn't have all that contamination. So you just come in here and gently with the wet side of it, get all of the areas. I like to try and attempt to get the edges first, and then you simply flip and wipe down. Big thing here too, guys. Make sure you're using clean towels. Do not use something that you've used on wheels or dirty areas. Just grab a fresh towel. And I know I'll have some people ask, do you like glass towels on things like screens? I don't. I like something a little fluffier to pick up all of that oil, all the dust in there, and make my life a little easier. So again, I'm just gonna quickly come in here, wipe this down. You can go, east to west and then north to south. Quickly flip over here and boom, you're ready to go. It's as simple as that. So you can keep something like this maybe in your center console, wrapped up in there. You can get smaller bottles like this, a couple ounces, to be able to spray it on a towel, and you're good to go. But that's really my recommendations. Stay away from small cleaning cloths and dry wiping things. I would also not recommend just taking this towel and dry wiping it. You can just cause more issues like that. Adams Waterless Wash, again, this is the wrong bottle. I'll leave a link in the description below. This is my favorite product for things like this. It is completely awesome, leaves a nice smooth finish on there, and really looks nice and works very well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this short video on cleaning screens. If you guys have any other things you want to see, maybe as far as interior, small things that we can kind of portion up into videos, be very interested to hear what you're curious to know about. So thanks for joining us on another out of spec detailing video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.